Welcome everybody. Thank you for spending part of your Friday with the lovely Christina and myself, Brittany, as we talk about subscription clubs. Last Free Training Friday, we discussed traditional clubs. So if that is something that you'd like to explore further after this, feel free to go into the documentation, search Free Training Friday or just free or just Friday, and it'll bring it up and you'll see it there, and you can take a look at that at any time you would like at your leisure. But today we're focusing on subscription clubs. So we're going to head on over into our overview. Pardon me. So a few things we're going to talk about today. One is why subscription clubs, why should we even consider them? We're going to be creating a subscription club, managing the memberships, and managing the subscription club processing. So first of all, why subscription clubs? Traditional clubs have been used for a long time. They're obviously very effective. They're great revenue generators. We have our systems in place that work. Why would we want to introduce subscription clubs? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We all know how traditional clubs work, and very specifically, it's the winery that has complete control over the cadence of the club, right? It's like, okay, we do our club, say 4 times per year. It's during these months, these very specific times when things are where the cards are charged, where we fulfill, where we ship these out. The members don't get a say as far as the cadence of when those shipments are received. What's different about subscription clubs is that there's maximum flexibility, not only for the customer, but also for the winery. It may seem a little bit strange or even a little bit scary to think about changing the way that you do clubs now, if you're a traditional club people. But the thing to remember is that it's not all or nothing. So if you have a whole traditional club, you have maybe 3 different traditional clubs that you currently run, keep those, totally fine. But you could experiment a little with maybe mixing in a subscription club, see how it goes. And we would suggest letting it ride for 6 months to see how it feels, how it works for both the customers and for you, to see if it's something you may want to maybe introduce another one, or maybe even, eventually switch them all over to subscription clubs if it's something that you particularly really like. The thing that we found at Commerce7 is that only 30% of our clients actually use this feature. So it's a tough one. Wineries are, I worked at a winery. We were very slow to embrace changes sometimes, especially things that we've used for a long time that have been super effective. Breweries from the very beginning embraced subscriptions because they had to, but it's now definitely making its way into the winery space. So hopefully you'll at least think about playing with it, because it's pretty cool. One thing that we found is that subscription clubs create more online signups, exponentially more online signups. A lot of traditional clubs, most traditional clubs, you're in the tasting room, you are selling them in the tasting room. There are very specific benefits for traditional clubs, like, coming and getting free tastings or coming to specific events throughout the year. Well, there are some folks that might not be able to take advantage of some of those benefits. People that live out of state, folks that aren't visiting necessarily as often as more local folks might. So subscription clubs are a very convenient way for them to sign up for the club, to learn about the club, and to take advantage of the club. And so we find that there's a lot of online signups for these, which is great. So talking about the flexibility for the customer, they control the timing of their shipments. They have control over the cadence of what works best for them. So you, as the admin, when you're setting up the club, which we're going to be doing in a minute, you decide, of course, what they get to choose from. But ultimately, the members then get to choose from what you've offered to make it best for them. So the member controls the frequency, the member controls the shipment dates, And then each of the default packages are personally curated for them. So it takes into the algorithm, takes into account the past purchase history of each of these people, each of these members, and it creates that default package for them. Yes, they do have the opportunity to go in and make changes to that default package if they would like, but more often than not, it definitely tracks with their wine profile, their flavor profile, that default package. So that's pretty cool. There's also flexibility for the winery with subscription clubs. As I said, I worked at a winery. I was a part of many club runs. I was in a small to medium-sized winery. So it was very much an all hands on deck mentality when those shipments were coming up. We did 4 times per year. And I was the head of DTC. So about a month ahead of time, that's when it started for me. And it was very much lots of planning, lots of prep, doing the club run, lots. And then there's the fulfillment part of it. And we actually fulfilled our club shipments in-house. So then there was all of the, okay, let's get the pallets of this from the fulfillment house, bring it over to the winery. And then again, all hands on deck. Everyone from the cellar master to the CEO at times was in there packing all those boxes and making sure that they were ready to get out. So it's very, it's a stressful time. It's an important time, obviously, because of those spikes in revenue, very important revenue for the winery, life-giving revenue. So everyone had a hand in it, or has a hand in it. With subscription clubs, it's a little bit different because the members choose their cadence. Maybe you normally have your traditional club ship in February, your first one of the year. With a subscription club, you will still have some in February because some of the members will choose to want their subscriptions or their shipments in February. But then you're going to have some in March. You're going to have some in July. You're going to have some, well, weather permitting, obviously, going to have some in September. So it's like throughout the year, every month, basically, you're going to have, instead of these big spikes of activity, it's going to be much more balanced, much more even throughout the year. So what that means is that the admins in your winery are freed up from all of that, the craziness that happens at these very specific, intense times of year. The management of fulfillment loads is eased. You don't have all pallets coming in at, February, we need all the pallets of this and that. No, it's going to be much more, again, even. You can manage those the fulfillment stuff coming in so that you can pack, or your fulfillment house if they're packing. And then interestingly too, more consistent cash flow for the winery throughout the year. I know, again, from working in a winery, there were the feast and famine times, and those club times were, again, life-giving, that life-giving cash inflow. But this subscription clubs makes it, again, a little bit more even throughout the year. So you can do some different fiscal planning perhaps than you do now with the traditional clubs. So some things to think about. I know that was a little bit long-winded, but I want to talk about subscription clubs. It's a really interesting, cool idea that you may want to incorporate. So having said that, we're going to head on over into Commerce7. I'm on the dashboard and I'm going to go to the club tab, and we're going to go into subscriptions. And let's see, move our faces here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, add subscription club. Going to add a title. Let's call this the, how about the fantastic, fancy subscription club? If I could spell subscription club. Club type, this is going to be subscription. Content, this is going to exist above the join button. So I'm going to just grab the information I have here and paste it in. These are my benefits. Down here, we have email instructions. So these are instructions that are embedded into the transaction email that automatically goes out to folks who have just signed up. So if there is something very specific to this club that doesn't apply to other clubs, you may want to add that here. It will be embedded into that email. So it'd be something like if only this club allows for, say, complimentary shipping, you'd want to put that in here, and then that could be included. Down here, we decide on what we will offer as the cadence and also the minimum of products that are required for this particular club. So first of all, product selection, as I said, it is the system selects the products based on the next neighbor algorithm. So it's personalized to the customer based on their past purchase history. That is the only option there. Number of products. So this is the minimum product threshold for this particular club. I'm going to go ahead and make it 3, but you can make it whatever you would like. Frequencies offered. So it defaults to 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm also going to add 6 and 12 because I'm going to offer maximum flexibility to the folks who are wanting to join this club. And we'll see what this looks like on the front end in a minute. Default frequency. This basically is the frequency that's going to be highlighted when folks are going to choose their frequency. So it's whatever one that you want them to, maybe, you want to kind of nudge them toward, you can highlight one. I'm going to go ahead and choose the 3 months here. Down here, SEO and link. So this link here is going to be the link that you would give your designer or developer so that they can embed it on your site to any links or buttons where you want to have people be able to join the club. So this is the actual link for the club, sign up for this club. Up here on the right, web status. Do I want people to be able to sign up on the web? Yes, I do. Available. Admin. Yes, I do. Available. This also has to do with POS, so yes. Down here, you can add an image if you would like. And we're going to save this guy. All right, we have our fantastic, fancy subscription club set up here. Now we're going to choose the items from which the default shipment will be built and that folks will be able to edit themselves once they go online and they can customize. So product search, I'm going to choose 3 here. I'm going to do rosé. I'm going to do cab. And I'm going to shard. Okay. These are the 3 wines that are going to be comprising both the default shipment as well as what they can kind of switch out for online when they go to customize. Few things here I want to just call out. We have a default, minimum, and maximum. Default is going to be basically a suggestion. If you put a value in here, it's going to suggest, or it's going to default to the quantity of 2 bottles of the Cabernet. If I put a 2 here, the member can still go ahead and make it 1 or 0 or 12 if they want, but we'd like to suggest 2 for whatever reason. If you put a value in minimum, it's going to force that. It's going to make it, if I put a 2 here, it would mean that, okay, there are definitely going to be 2 of these cabs in this shipment. Can't be changed. It's what we are determining. Max is how many they can add up to in their club shipment. And then we have the available on web toggle. This just means that when it's toggled on, it will show as an option for people to add more wine from these. So it will show for them, basically. They'll be able to interact with this wine and add more of it to their existing club shipment. If it is toggled off, they will not be able to do that. It will not show online for them to add to their shipment. But you as an admin will be able to add this to their shipment if on the back end, if you would like to. Good example is if you have, maybe just have a few cases of these left, but that one of your top club member customers loves it. You want to make sure that this is toggled off so that people online can't get it, but you as the admin can add it at will if you would like to. Keep that there. I'm going to continue. Okay, now we're on the members page. We don't see any yet, of course, because there aren't any, but we will in a minute. And same thing on the inventory page. We're not going to see anything here yet, but we will soon. This page is important to take a look at before, well, periodically actually, to see what upcoming shipments, what inventory is going to be needed versus what is in the inventory locations. So it's a great page to reference. All right, I am going to go online and sign up for my new club, and just move these tools over for a sec. Okay, gonna head in and go to the wine club page. Oh, sorry, let's go back up here. Here it is. I just created it. You see that this is the member benefits little content piece I put in there. I'm gonna join this club. And here it is. So here are the frequencies that I have defined as the admin would be available. You'll see that it is highlighted here. This was the default 3 months. I chose that. Okay, but now I am the member, the potential member. So I'm going to actually choose every 2 months. Go to delivery. Because I am an existing customer in the system, it pulls up all of my information. If I was just somebody off the street that heard about it and wants to be a part of it, it would be bringing up those applicable screens. So it would collect all of this information. Shipping, I'll go ahead and leave it there. Continue to payment. And it brings up the card on file. Over here on the right, it does, again, give you those member benefits. And it also highlights how you are in control of editing your upcoming shipments. You can skip a shipment if you would like in these screens. You can also cancel your membership at any time in these screens yourself as the member. Continue to review. And I'm going to, oh, one thing I want to bring up. Anytime someone signs up for the subscription club, whether it's in admin or it's online, the first shipment automatically charges and goes on its fulfillment path 2 days after the person has signed up. 2 days. That can be edited, of course. I'll show you how to do that. But just know that that's what's going to happen. It will charge and go on to fulfillment 2 days after they sign up. And then after that point, it takes on the cadence that they have chosen. So if it's 6 months, then it would, then the next one will be in 6 months. But just know that 2 days. Completing the sign up. Yay. Okay. I am a part of this club now. And because of that, I now see my first shipment populating and I can interact with it if I want to. So here's the default shipment that has been chosen for me. I can skip this shipment if I want to. I can choose to ship it now if I don't want to wait the 2 days. Oh my goodness, I can't wait 2 days for this wine. You can ship it now if you'd like. And you can edit your wines. Here's the default shipment. And then down here are the available wines that I can now add, subtract, switch out, etc. I'm going to go ahead and save those selections. And now let's go back into Commerce7 and take a look. All right, I am on the members page of my subscription club, and we now see here I am. This person is just signed up. Tells you at a glance when the next process date is. Now I'm in here as the admin. I can skip for this person. I can process it right away for this person. I can also edit the shipment for this person. Let's see here. Oh, and also let's take a look at the inventory. And now you see, we start seeing these values show up because now there is an upcoming shipment. One thing to note as well, let's say there were other people or other members in here, and I wanted to see, I want to see, I don't know, I want to see my inventory through the end of the year, let's say, with my subscription shipments. You can go ahead and, choose a different date if you would like, and then it will rebalance these according to the dates here. So just know that there's the date there. Also, you can decide to include skipped packages in this count or not. All righty, so we've signed up online. Let's sign up someone from admin. So I'm going to go into the CRM here. Let's do Candy Cane. And we're going to go to profile. And we're going to add a membership. I'm going to choose the fancy subscription club. Here it asks the frequency. Well, Candy, she wants every month. So we're going to choose 1 month, save that selection. She already has payment in here. Oh, I know one thing though. Let's go ahead and change her to a pickup. Say pickup. Okay. And it is now complete. Now, when we go back to subscriptions and back to our member page, there's Candy Cane. And again, next process date, it's 2 days from today. That again, you can change this, but that's why it's the next process date for both of these is November 6th. Couple of things I want to call out here is we do have some filters up here. You can filter on shipment status, so pending, processing, or skips. You can filter on build status, payment status, order delivery method, ship state, has issues, has flags. Now these are club membership flags or a club membership tag. You also have this up here, shipments with issues. It's just another way to get to that information. If there's shipments in here that, credit card issues, inventory issues, that sort of thing, they'll show up here. All righty. So now we have signed up online. We've signed up in admin. Now let's go over into POS. So I'm heading over into the POS here. And we are going to, so we have someone in the tasting room or at a live event, and they are checking out. And the tasting room associate has been incredibly amazing with their sales skills. And this person also wants to sign up for the subscription club at the same time that they're purchasing. You also have the option to make this purchase, regardless of what they're purchasing, make that their first club shipment. So we're going to do that now. So first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and choose someone here. It's going to be, we'll do Johnny Cash. Why not? Okay. He's going to get some, go ahead and add it. He's special. Okay, gonna add a few things here. Great, but he also wants to be a part of the club. So we're gonna click on the club button down here. You choose your club. And here, okay, Johnny Cash, how often do you want your subscription club? Well, he'd like his every 6 months. Okay, great. Do you want to mark this as your first shipment? Well, yeah, I do. Okay, cool. So you can mark that. We're going to add the membership. And we're going to pay. And we are going to, what are we going to do? We're going to use a card on file. And we're going to charge. Oh, yes, they were great. We're going to give them 18%. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to go back into admin. First thing I want to show is in the store. Of course, we see that Johnny Cash order here. And I know that it was placed in the POS panel, but you'll notice here, because we checked that box, this is actually going under the club channel. So just wanting to call that out. Let's go back to club, subscriptions, fancy, and members. Now you don't see Johnny Cash here in members. because he's already been charged for his subscription. So he falls off of this list. This is only going to show your upcoming shipments, your pending shipments. Let's see here. That is about it that I have. Christina, am I forgetting anything like?
Yeah, maybe we can show how to change the processing date on the club membership, or you kind of tweak it. I think that would be helpful.
You got it. So let's go ahead and edit this shipment. And we're going to go down here. Oh, where are we going to go? We want, sorry. Let's see, subscription ship. So I probably have to go to the actual club itself to do that?
To the membership.
The membership itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, am I, sorry, you may have to, I'm not seeing it here. I think I'm going to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into here, profile, and then I'll go to the membership here. I think that's where I need to go. Yes. Edit membership. Okay, there it is. Okay, so yes, we can change the process date to, for instance, here if we want to. And then save club membership. And now when we go back to club and back into here and back to members.
It's gone because we only see the next 2 weeks here.
Next 2 weeks, got it.
Okay. So if you just go back to step 1, configure. And then if you scroll down, I think there is the stat of how many active members you have, and then shipment next 2 weeks, how many people coming up. So that's the one that you probably changed up. Does it make sense? So it's kind of showing you what's coming in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, so over here.
We always see 2 weeks, right?
Got it. It's over here. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. The stats in the bottom.
Okay. My eyes were over here and I see it over here. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Do we have questions?
I don't see anything in the chat right now, but we have some people raising hands. So let's see. Rob and Dina. All righty. All right, something's happening. Answer, Natasha, open. Chat is disabled. Let me look into this.
I'm looking too. Strange.
Alrighty, we have some questions coming through in the chat, so you can feel free to just type it in there. Okay, I see it now. Awesome. All right, Brittany, there's a question of how to add the missing credit card through the POS sign up. So would it be, I guess, signing up someone from scratch through the POS? Do you want to maybe demonstrate that one more time? If you're signing up a brand new customer, that customer that does not have a record, so someone coming to the tasting room without being in our CRM?
Yes. So let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so from here, are we saying that we would just want to pay from here? Or let's see, what do we want to do? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so let's say that I'm coming through now, and then you want to add this guest as a club member and slide it up through here. So entering the credit card information and kind of everything from scratch.
Okay, so let's
right? So on the bottom, we can just add a new brand new customer. Yeah, and I guess just walk through the sign up without having any record on a customer.
got it.
So entering, credit card and everything.
Right. Let's do this. And our customer. Whoops. What is the error? Referral. Yeah, already used. Okay, we'll do something else.
You can use mine if you want. If that helps, probably not.
Okay, now we're going to do club. Let's choose this guy. 3 months, Marcus first shipment. Edit, add membership. And then when we go to pay, choose, we're going to do a.
Yeah, so manual card entry if there would not be credit card on file.
Right, close. And I do believe that that also puts that card on the membership.
Let's check in the admin panel.
Let's go
What
check.
do we see now on the membership?
We shall go check. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, then. Answered. We have one more from Luke asking, do you recommend making a limited or large number of wines available to subscription club members?
Oh, interesting. I mean, it's all dependent on what you have available versus what you want to push to. Like one thing when I think about when I was at a winery, we had a very allocated collection of wines that was, we didn't produce a lot of them. They're very highly allocated. But then we also had our Sonoma Coast brand, which was, distributed. It was more wide. It was available pretty much all year round. And there were definitely those times I was like, oh man, our next vintage is coming in. We need to move this. We need to move this. So if you had that kind of situation, maybe, certainly adding those into a subscription would be a way to move that product. As far as from a psychological perspective, as far as like, oh, are fewer better than a lot of choice? I don't know. I think it would depend. What do you think, Christina?
Yeah, I think it really depends, and depending on, how many wines you have, and if you just want to test it out and see how it goes. You can always change up the number in the package, right? Remove the products in if you want to. So yeah, really depending. I always think that more option you give to your club members, the better for you, because then the more freedom they have of making whatever adjustments they want. So.
And you'll probably get feedback as well from, if you have club members saying, oh man, you're only offering, these 2 wines. Can I get some of this dessert wine that I can get in the tasting room? And then you'll know whether you need to offer a little bit more maybe for your customers.
All righty, I'm answering some questions through the chat, so you should be getting some answers. We can move on to the next one, maybe from Rob. I have a question about the 2-week window. I would like to see all the members and their next shipment date, similar to how the traditional clubs work.
I don't know a way to adjust that, but that's certainly something we could bring to the product team for sure.
we can ask, but I believe that we won't be able to make any adjustments for you, or this is how is it kind of preset, so you can only see the next 2 weeks one that should be important for you and not preview all of them. I think that's why the stat box on the configure of the club shows, so you can know how many you have upcoming in the next batch. But yeah, we can definitely look into it and see if there's any options on modifying this.
Yep, I'll make a note here, and I'll talk to the product team as well as a consideration to maybe have a toggle with, you know, various dates, etc.
All right, we can move on to the next one. Looks like Carrie had a similar question. Why can you only see the next 2 weeks? Is there any way how to change it up and see, or change it to the next month or 2? So yeah, same, seems like this is a popular one.
Yep, I'll definitely bring it up.
All righty. Alrighty, Rob, I see that you have another one question in here, so I'll just take it from the webinar and save it for Britt and I so we can review. Alrighty, and Dina, are we able to display the option of skipping a shipment as well as disabling the ability to change the shipping date?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Are we able to disable the option of skipping a shipment as well as disabling the ability to change the shipping date?
I don't believe so, but that's something that we can certainly get back to you about. I'm not sure whether a developer would be able to hide that or not. We would discourage that.
100%, yeah. So
but
there's definitely a way, if I can just pitch in a little bit. So there's definitely a way that, you know, this can be adjusted from the front end. If you want to work with the developer, by default, you won't be able to turn off the cancellation or the skip options for reason of, you know, having the customer to do that on their own behalf. So they have all the freedom of interacting with the package, skip it if they don't want to, cancel if they don't want to. I think this goes back to giving the club members more freedom on, you know, doing whatever they would like, and they will be able to make the adjustments on their own behalf. I think there's quite a bit of studies on, you know, if you let people to do more and manage it themselves, there's less cancellations overall. But yeah, this can be definitely adjusted. So you can talk to your developer. You might hear the same answers from them. Then they might not be recommended it necessarily, but there's a availability of doing that. All righty. What else we got in here? And then if you don't see me answering any of these questions, I'll definitely keep them separately, and we will get back to all of you who don't have not got the answers just yet.
Yeah, Christine and I can definitely huddle on those. Anything that doesn't get answered, we'll huddle on and get back to everyone who had questions for sure.
Oh, this is a good one from Bell. Do the subscription club shipments get archived like the traditional clubs?
Do they get archived?
Yeah, so they
you can definitely, meaning, can you go back to them? Can you keep looking at them? You can definitely, when we go to the subscription clubs here, there are the statuses up here. So if I were, for instance, to take off that admin status filter there, then you'll see all of them. And I can go back into any of my clubs and take a look at their configurations, etc. So yes, they are definitely archived. They're here. Just make sure that you're looking at the right filter and you'll be able to go back to them.
Alrighty, there's one more. I'm sorry if this has already been answered, but how early before the shipment goes out can the customer customize their shipment?
They can customize it up until the point, I mean, up until midnight of the day that it's being processed. They can go in and make any changes that they want to. At midnight, the day that it is being processed, that's when it's too late, that's when it's processed with whatever has been defined in that shipment.
Alrighty. Would you be able to export all subscription members to get accurate members versus just the 2-week window? Yeah, maybe that would be a good thing to show how you export the membership spread.
Yeah, if you go into the memberships tab here, you can filter by club. So you can, grab all of them, grab one of them, whatever you need to, and then you can export from here under actions.
All right. See people interacting through the chat. That's the fun. Oh, when can they start to customize?
They can begin customizing the moment they have created their membership. So as soon as they have signed up, like we noticed that when I signed up online, because it was an active club, I'm able to see what that default shipment is, and I can immediately begin interacting with it and customizing if I would like to.
Okay. So Betty says the package is not created till the 2-week email, but I wish as well that I would be created earlier because then the customer could choose to ship early.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, if you're like, for instance, a cadence of every 6 months, then you wouldn't be able to ship several months earlier if you wanted to. Okay. So something else we can bring to the product team for sure.
Is the market for subscription clubs the same as traditional clubs? Will I lose many members from my traditional club if launch a subscription club?
Well, again, it's not all or nothing. So I would, if it were me, I'm more of a conservative person when it comes to this kind of stuff. So if I have something that's working, if my traditional clubs are working, I don't want to upset that apple cart. I will keep those intact and then launch a subscription club as kind of a pilot program, see how it feels. So you wouldn't be converting those traditional club members into subscription club members necessarily, unless you really want to you're ready to do a whole overhaul. You can do it definitely incrementally and test the waters and see what works before widely launching it.
Carrie's coming back for the export here. Can you see when you export which frequency the subscription is?
sorry, you broke up, Christina. What was the?
Can you see when you export which frequency the subscription is? So pretty much, I guess, what would be the fields in the export of the club membership? What all we can see in there if we export?
Let's take a look. It didn't. Where did it go? Oh, there we go.
Justina has a question here. I'm just gonna tap you back in. Okay, Dina's asking, how do I contact the developer? Dina, if you just want to include your email address, I'm happy to introduce you to someone, or show you some options of some of our partners who will be able to help you because they have quite a bit of experience with Commerce7.
I am looking at this export. Current number of shipments. So the question is, does it show the cadence?
Yeah, the frequency, and I guess we can just review the fields.
Yep. Okay. Order delivery, sign up date, process date, current number of shipments. All the name information, all the address information, of course. Created, updated. Credit card, expiration date, sales associate. I am looking for frequency. Club type. Yes, it is. Subscription frequency is definitely on here, and subscription next process date is also on here.
William is asking, is there any future development on creating a minimum bottle requirement before allowing customers any cancellations? I'm happy to check, but I don't believe that this is on the roadmap for our product team right now. I don't think we like to be setting any restrictions on the club's subscription club. So I will take my best guess and say no from what I know, what do we do in Commerce7, but happy to pass it on if you want me, William, and just, double check with Andrew and Andrea. All right. Carrie has a question about, can subscription member change frequency if they want wine now? Can they choose ship now?
Yes.
So, yes. Yeah.
So if I understand the question, yes, yes, they can change both, they can ship now and they can change their frequency. So they can do that themselves online. I think that answers the question.
Yeah, so pretty much, can you change your frequency and can you change to ship now?
Yep, you can.
Right. So maybe you want to go, Britt, to the front end and see how many adjustments we can make to the club memberships from the front end, just to review the ship now and cancel and skip.
Yep. So let's see, let's go to the Fantastic Fancy. And so we can change the frequency here. So we can change. So instead, I want to go every month. Update. Let's see here. You can also ship it now, still, even after changing the frequency. Let's see here. Obviously, you can edit the wines. You can skip the shipment here. And we can cancel. Does that answer the question, Christina, do you think?
I think that's pretty good from here.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going through. Okay, Dina. You mentioned you will check on our question. How will we get the answers?
Well, we would email you. So anyone who is, do we receive their emails? I wonder, based on, maybe we just have their names. Dina, if you could put your, or anyone that is expecting an answer back, please do put your email address in the chat so that we have it. And then we'll make sure, thank you for asking that, Dina, because that reminded us to ask you to do that. So please put in your email addresses and we'll make sure that you get your answers.
I have Dina's address already, so we are good on that. And then I think Rob could also include his if he's still around.
Perfect.
Alrighty, Carrie's happy with the answer as well. Betty says, you might want to explain to Dina that you can require certain wines in a club subscriptional package.
We can show that.
Yeah.
You can definitely require, pardon me, you guys. So if we go to subscriptions and we go back to this guy, and we go to items. If you want to require particular wines, you will want to make the minimum a value here. And you would do that by editing. And then you would, in the minimum here, use, for instance, a 2, excuse me, and save item. And then that will, by default, would make the default 2 as well. But that would mean that 2 of these Cabernets will be in this shipment. They won't be able to change that. I think that's what Betty was referring to.
Alrighty, and then Emma comes with a question. I have a similar question. We also do our own fulfillment. Can we see the best way to view packages, contents for fulfillment?
Christine, I may need a little bit of your assistance here as far as like where we would, what would be best to download for that information that includes the quantities. Let's see here.
So we did the membership export, right? That does not necessarily give us much for the fulfillment in this case. I mean, the order export would still provide some of the information of what's in the created order. But yeah, I think that's depending, you know, how do you do your fulfillment? If you're sending some type of spreadsheet or if you connect it to ship compliant, I think. So, you know, there's the factors of the workflow.
We can certainly get back to you on the best export for that as well, since you do fulfill in-house. We can, we'll be happy to get back to you with the best possibility there.
So if we can get your email address so we can follow up, that would be great.
Great.
Thank you. Alrighty. Thank you, Emma. Got your address. Yeah, we have a lot of remaining questions. So I think before we end it, I just want to get organized and make sure I collect everything that I need to before we get out of here, if that's okay. I don't want to miss any of you guys here. Also, one more good question from Dina. Would you provide all the answers for everyone's question to all of us? I like the group approach.
Yeah, well, I wonder Yeah, I mean, certainly anyone who wants the answers, throw your emails in there and we'll just make sure that everybody gets it. Anybody that wants it, throw your emails into the chat and we'll make sure that you get the answers as well.
Alrighty, so everything is coming through. Alrighty, collecting it.
I'm glad there's so much interest in
Yeah.
the subscription clubs. It's yeah, like I said, only 30% of our clients even use it. So it's cool that folks are interested and willing to maybe give it a little bit of an experiment.
Alrighty. Just an internet question for you, Britt. Will you be able to see what was happening in the Q&A after the fact that the chat closes? Do you know?
Good question. I don't know. Let's see here. Let me see if I can.
Well, if not, I do have all the email addresses. I have everything that happened in our chat, so definitely work well with you. And
I'm going to go ahead and just take screenshots
yeah,
of it so that we have
I'm also working in the same way. So
have them all. I can honestly say we've never had this much activity in one of our free training Fridays.
to be
Definitely
expected.
excited
Yeah.
about it.
I'm also
All these.
alrighty. Okay, I have everything I need from the chat, Britt. So I think
Okay,
that
cool.
you have
Perfect.
most of it as well, then we'll definitely be able to get back to everybody and then include some of the general articles.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yep, I got them all.
Yeah, and then I just want to say, Dina, if you would like to understand it a little bit more further, or any of you guys who are here, I think feel free to email to our support, and then you can make you can hop on the screen share, get it explained one more time, maybe more tailored to whatever you're doing or something more specific. So feel free to just request another call and just find more details this way, but we'll definitely do our best to follow up with everyone and with all the remaining questions that are in the chat. Thanks for understanding.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So we have everything we need. Thank you guys so much for all of the enthusiasm, and we will definitely get back to you with all the answers. And as Christina said, please do reach out to support if you'd like further, more personalized support with regard to this, or if you have any questions. And have a wonderful Friday and a fantastic weekend. See you later.
Thanks everyone for joining.